away. A couple drivers got knocked up into the wall. Shane, I do believe you have coverage on that.
Yeah, we had Alan Cryer and Shane Terrian get together off turn 4. Ultimately, Alan Cryer got into the wall, and then Shane Terrian right there. Both those guys get together. Plenty of other guys involved. Brendan Madonia, I got damage on the right side and left side, hit the inside wall. Corey Blevins also involved. Plenty of other guys also receiving damage. Colin Bowden might have some right front damage. They're checking on him here. So that's a fairly big wreck there off turn 4. 2 very fast cars taken out. Pit stops were complete for everyone else. The other driver I missed was the 95 of Nick Mass. That car's got some heavy front end damage, so he, along with a couple other drivers involved in that one, definitely going to shake up this race so far. We've had some decent green flag runs. Really, restarts have been a problem for these guys when they're all up next to each other after getting bunched back up there. 4 restarts, you know, you're close to each other, you're racing hard, and you know, ultimately things happen. In that time, a classic example of just how treacherous that turn 4 wall can be. Guys don't really anticipate it, and you know, really that's understandable considering how awkward it is. You don't see it at any other track. When you come here, yeah, it's a challenge to deal with, and obviously you know, a mistake there by Alan Cryer gets into Shane Terrian, and from there it was on. And for these guys up front though, you know, this is continuously disrupting the rhythm because they're trying to go out there, they're trying to get the green flag runs in and establish themselves, but really it's been tough with all these cautions, and you know, 30 laps in, it's already, we've had 3 or 4 cautions.
And right now I'm going to try to get a ring in with Austin Hartenfels, driver of the number 29. Austin, it's Bone Steel up at the booth. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm just watching right now, seeing how things are shaking out there. Just looks like a lot of struggles to stay in a position because these packs are just right on top of each other. How do you keep a position out there?
Yeah, really, it's keeping control of the bottom lane. The top side doesn't really work very well, especially once the run gets going on and the tires wear out. It gets a little loose and twitchy coming off the corner, so keeping it on the inside is good. And if someone gets on your inside, then it's easy to get freight trained to the back. So keeping on the bottom is really the way to go here.
As the run goes on and the car continues to wear, what are you seeing the general trend for the handling?
It starts getting really loose off the corner and twitchy in the middle. It's really actually kind of tight off 4. It's really the wall kind of like tightens up there or straightens out, so it's hard to not hit the turn 4 wall. You see a lot of cars doing that tonight, but other than that, there's a lot of loose, a lot of sliding around. The temperature's pretty hot, the track's pretty hot, so it's keeping control of your car, and it's pretty fun. It's actually really fun to race guys here.
All right, awesome. We'll let you get back down to your team.
Thanks.
Getting back ready to go green flag racing. JD Laird still your leader. He'll restart on the inside, but look at Chad Coleman. Going to restart there up in second from the 22nd qualifying spot all the way to second. That's plus 20 spots. Can he make it 21 and put that 20 Toyota Camry up in the lead? We'll have to see. Joseph Tice will restart third. Austin Hartenfels fourth, and Byron Daly complete your top 5 here for the restart. We're going to be 30 laps in when we get the green.
And plenty of more racing left, assuming we stayed green at least to 1 green flag pit stop at the minimum, possibly even 2. So we'll see how things shake out here, but we are ready to go back to green flag racing.
Definitely, everyone really hasn't had a chance to get a rhythm and get in and settle in and do the best they can to run the car out, at least to fuel and get a sense of how the tires fall off. Maybe this could be the run we see these guys stretch it out and really learn how this hot surface is really playing on tire wear.
Pace car pulls down. We turn our eyes to the front row as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. The flagman has the flag. Gets ready to wave it. Green flag back in the air. We're racing here at Auto Club Speedway.
Colin Bowden puts it almost 3 wide there. He's way up against the wall trying to make something work. Coleman's going to get squeezed. Contact made. Joe Lawrence, Michael Laraya on the wall. All kinds of carnage in the middle of the field.
Is everybody going to hold on to it almost 3, 4, 5 wide down into turn 1 here as the field had to go all over the place to avoid that one?
Yeah, that's a tough break. Got several guys who are just outside the 5. They've now got damage. Michael Laraya, the notable one, he pancaked the outside retaining wall in turn 4. He's going to have a ton of damage and he'll fall off the pace. Also, several other guys might have got a piece of that.
Looks like JD has a little bit of breathing room for the time being up there as Byron Daly battles with Tice, Hartenfels, and Dyson. Dyson's now the biggest mover of the race as he's up there, and he's working on it. 3 wide RCA sandwich. Oh, he's going to look 4 wide almost there and give Corey Hoover the push down in 3 and 4. We'll see how that works.
Really impressed with Ryan Dyson. Started 24th all the way up inside the top 5, and he's got a really fast 28 car underneath him, running there with his RCA teammates, doing a nice job. So this definitely could be a night for Ryan Dyson. I saw him get a win, I believe it was last season in the Sportsman Series at Michigan, and obviously Auto Club, known as a sister track to Michigan. So this definitely could be Ryan Dyson's night. He's had similar success at similar racetracks, so we'll have to watch him and more as this race continues on.
Top 10, pretty much single file. You have to look back towards Jamie Haley, Mark Rapolo, those drivers back there before they start getting side by side again. A little bit of shuffling up towards the front, but they're still just battling it out for a position. Taking a look, still lots of shuffling as well. Tom Bourne trying to work the outside in the 18. Parker Kligerman down on the inside. Then the number 9 of Rapolo shoved to the middle there. He's going to hold on to it after it gets a little bit loose, and then we're back battling for the lead.
Yeah, J.D. Laird under attack, and he's actually going to get passed there by Byron Daly. So Byron Daly, after winning last week in Atlanta, showing a very strong pace there, is going to continue the strong pace here today at Auto Club. He takes the lead, and he's now your new leader.
You're watching the Auto Components 200 here live on Checkered Flag Interactive. All the action up in the booth here. Steve and Shane calling it with you. And just watching right now as the field is on probably what's going to be the longest run we've had so far of the race.
Definitely look like it'll mirror that first open run, I believe it was. Could be the longest run of the race right now. Having it more than 10 laps, I know that's a fact. So really not a long chance for these guys to settle in, and right now we're starting to see that top 12 or so, single file, just hanging in the draft, trying to do the best they can to learn how the tires are reacting. And Byron Daly, he's got a strong car with no draft, and he's out there the leader, holding away from the rest of the field and really just doing it all on his own.
More and more drivers getting single file here. Some teammates side by side for a hot second. And then Trevor Rapolo struggling, but Mark Rapolo on the move in that number 3. He's using the outside here. He's working on Bronson Stafford. Bronson Stafford's under fire from Chris Wright. Back up front, Byron Daly has pulled away a little bit from Laird, and then Laird is getting chased down by Corey Hoover.
Yeah, this is definitely the time in the race where you start to see Corey Hoover rise, and when he rises, it's usually to the lead and from there and beyond for him. So he's got a really fast car tonight. Nothing new there. The defending champion of the Sportsman Series, and here he comes, closing on in on J.D. Laird and also Byron Daly. So in the next couple of laps, Corey Hoover could be the new leader. and could definitely set the pace for the rest of the race. Here comes Corey Hoover there to try and take over the second spot from J.D. Laird to go to the inside. He's side by side in the turns 1 and 2. Byron Daly getting a little bit of a breakaway from this battle. But nonetheless, Corey Hoover's going to make the pass and move up to second. So Corey Hoover continues his charge toward the front. Also starting to see some other drivers make their way toward the top 3. Austin Hartenfeld, he's now just a second off your leader, and he continues to close in as well. So RCA Racing pretty strong as well with Ryan Dyson. He's just battling for the 5th spot right now with Chad Coleman. He's currently 5th, but he's got Joseph Tice and also the 99 of Clint Carr. Another one of those drivers moving up into the field. He completes the top 8 so far, and those 4 drivers are kind of in their own pack themselves, and then Colin Bowden and Jamie Haley round out the top 10.
The field continues to spread out here as we are approaching the halfway point. Just lots of drivers just still feeling out what their cars are doing.
Yeah, they definitely are. Got a battle going on here. Colin Bowden, Jamie Haley, that's just back for the 8th spot or so. It's actually Joseph Tyson now battling with Colin Bowden. Both those guys racing hard. Pretty much the only side-by-side battle in the top 10 at the moment. As Clint Carr looks like he's going to make a pass on Chad Coleman, so he'll move up into the 6th spot. We'll have to see how this run continues on for some of these guys. Colin Bowden looks like he's moving forward. Joseph Tice moving forward, but guys like Chad Coleman and Jamie Haley as well, they kind of seem like they're falling back. Still watching a battle. It's Joseph Tice, Chad Coleman. They're battling side by side here now for the 7th spot. Joseph continues his charge toward the front. So all these guys very loose through turns 3 and 4. The tires continue to wear off. Track temp continues to rise, and that means the loose conditions in these cars continues to increase, and it's going to make it a handful for these guys as the run continues on, especially when the track rubbers in. That's only going to impede their progress even more. So changing track conditions, always something you have to watch for.
Looking 3 wide here as Colin Bowden's in the picture down on the inside. He wants that spot, and he's going to try to take it.
That'll get them both, Jimmy Haley and Chad Coleman. So a little 2-for-1 deal, depending he can get off turns 3 and 4. Looks like a nice charge by Chad Coleman off the corner. It's going to make it close there for that spot, but nonetheless a great move there by Colin Bowden. Looks like he'll pick up 2 spots.
And look at Hoover here hopping down to the inside, trying to get past Byron Daly for this top spot.
Yeah, he's definitely there taking a look. He's in his tire tracks right behind him. Pretty much just waiting for the perfect time to pull out here. Corey being the guy he is, he'll just wait in line and find a good time to run and make the run for the lead. He knows he's got a great car, plenty of time left in this race, not even halfway. He will be in a couple of laps, but still, he's got an eternity, a couple pit stops as well. And here he goes to the inside, going to take it to the apron here on the front straightaway, pretty much dead even there. But Corey Hoover, he is there for the lead, and it looks like he'll take it in turn 1.
Yeah, dead even for sure. Was an exact tie at the line here as Hoover using that very low line through 1 and 2, and similar to what Hartenfeld's behind them is doing. All 3 of them up front getting very loose off the corner.
Yeah, they definitely do. This allows Austin Hartenfeld to goes in. He's been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack recently. Just behind him, J.D. Laird continues to fall back. Was the leader here on this past restart. He has fallen to 4th and could lose all the way back to 6th as Ryan Dyson and Clint Carr have caught him. Plenty of guys out here really slipping and sliding, definitely loose out there. That's only going to make it worse, especially if you're the leader, Corey Hoover. He's got someone right behind him, and that's why Byron Daly's going to get a run and could retake the lead.
Side by side they go off the corner, almost making a little bit of contact there, but everyone will hold on to it.
Another basically dead even tie on the front straightaways. They make their way into turns 1 and 2. Going to be halfway in 2 laps. But Byron Daly continues to fight strong. Both these guys, they've got great cars. They're definitely good in the long run. It's just which one's better out front with no draft and someone right behind him. And really looks right now, it looks like Byron Daly's got a stronger car in clean air. Corey Hoover's really good in the draft and good at making passes, but he's kind of struggling at least with his handling when he gets out front in clean air. It's definitely something he'll have to work on. And also Austin Hartenfeld, he's closing in, but he's another one of those drivers always getting loose and can definitely make it challenging to make a pass.
Ryan Dyson still moving up through the field, impressed by what I've seen out of him so far. Still the biggest mover of the day.
He just made a pass on J.A. Laird, so that moves Ryan Dyson up to the 4th spot. So there you go, Byron Daly up there in the lead, but then 3 RCA Racing cars right behind them now to complete the top 4. The long run continues. They continue to get stronger. And we're going to have to see eventually when pit stops roll around here. It's only 20 to 25 laps on the green flag run. So definitely could see a couple more before the race ends.
Colin Bowden and Clint Carr both moving up through the field as well.
Yeah, Clint Carr's up to the 7th spot from 18th, and Colin Bowden, he started second but had problems, and just we say that, Clint Carr is going to get loose, goes all the way into the huge runoff area on the back straightaway off turn.
Down the back straightaway, just Just watching Bradley Burke trying to chase down that top 5. Getting closer to Joseph Tice. Colin Bowden as well. Moving up to J.D. Laird. Ryan Dyson in the 4th spot.
'99, the clean car did end up coming down pit road to make a pit stop. He'll pull it away just off this time by 4 tires and fuel for that team, so he definitely, that was definitely a red flag for him, getting that loose off the corner. Did not want to cook the right rear anymore. So he comes in, puts on new tires, and this could definitely force the hand to some of your leaders. Don't want to lose too much time to someone out there in fresh tires.
We are going to throw it off for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got more for you here at Auto Club Speedway.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
A com comes over the spectrum with a job. All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate timetable, and a risky route. You know you've got 42 cubic meters to pack full of profit. We're talking pressurized and shock-resistant construction, so whatever you put in here comes out the same way. You got 2 Arc Duo 400 engines. Their award-winning colloid ion technology gives you maximum fuel efficiency while keeping your sig low. Across a couple of pirates.
Hey, Lancer, you know the drill.
But with a weapon system featuring trusted names like Bering and Cronin, you aren't too worried.
Commercial vessel, Freelancer class. Red tags look good. Cleared for landing in Area 18.
You're the one they come to when they need a job done right. Because you trust one ship. Misk Freelancer. Built for life.
racing back up, and here we go. Green flag getting ready to be thrown.
Yeah, it's going to be Corey Hoover leading them to the green, Byron Daly to his end side. Corey's the leader. He'll like the outside lane for this restart. The pace car pulls off, and we're back to green. Three wide to turn one there. Colin Bowden makes the issue happen there on turn one. He's on the inside. Looks like he'll have the lead momentarily as they're still three wide in turn two.
Yeah, he's going to try to keep that run going down on the inside. They're going to stay three wide down the bank straight away. Into 3 and 4. Austin Hartenfels has a run. Byron Daly in the middle. Who's going to make it work here? Corey Hoover all the way up by the outside. He's not going to have to run, and up off the corner, Colin Bowden's going to clear him here to try to lead his first lap of the race.
He's going to do so and bring Austin Hartenfels up to second with him, but look at the rest of the field barreling down there for the lead as well. It's pretty much been 2 or 3 cars up there all night, and now we're starting to see some new faces emerge toward the front. Colin Bowden being one of them there as he takes the lead. Three wide once again. Corey Hoover's going to try the inside. Austin Hartenfels middle. And Colin Bowden's all the way up the track. Couple of lanes off the wall. Going to get really, really tight there. Going to have to let off the gas. He'll lose a couple of spots. This will give the lead back to Corey Hoover.
And now it's down to 2 wide as Bowden loses the lead and Hartenfels tries to squeeze it out. Corey Hoover's got a little bit of help from teammate Ryan Dyson. Byron Daly's up on the outside of that second row. If we stay green, we still do all have to have one more pit stop, just barely. So that'll make things interesting.
It definitely will, and at a track like this, it is possible if you come down pit road and maybe just gas and go, you could stay on the lead lap. The way tires are now, you'd almost certainly need at least 2 tires, and that would put you down at least 1 lap. So these guys are going to have to figure out exactly when they want to come down pit road. If we go green that long and, not worry about making a pit stop earlier than losing a lap and not being able to recover that lap for the rest of the race, that would definitely be detrimental and probably not going to give you a good finish. So they have to consider all of that and more as these guys are going at it for the lead. Ryan Dyson's looking for it now as Corey Hoover's got it. As Corey Hoover takes the lead, or continues to hold the lead. Byron Daly makes it 3 wide inside. Ryan Dyson, Austin Hartenfels, Colin Bowden, Bradley Burke, Jamie Haley, Chris Wright, your top 8. Plenty of action also for the 10th spot. So Chris Wright's made his way up into the top 10. Just battles all over the track. Got a battle for 2nd, battle for 10th. And just plenty others after that. Everyone knows it's go time and they're making the moves right now. Corey Hoover's got the lead. He washes up a little bit off turn 2. Here comes Byron Daly back to the inside to make a move for the lead. And it looks like he'll grab it there in turns 3 and 4.
Like you talked about, lots of battling towards the rear end of this top 10. Jamie Haley's back there, Chris Wright, J.D. Laird's falling back, but I mean, just taking a look at some of these drivers all around the field, they are racing so hard.
A couple drivers to point out, the 3 of Mark Ruffalo and the 07 of Parker Kligerman. Both those guys involved in some wrecks early on. I believe the whole entire nose of Parker Klickerman's Toyota Camry was caved in. That team did a nice job fixing it up. It looks like Mark Garoppolo has had a ton of damage fixed in his rear end. So both those guys, those teams have worked hard. The drivers have worked hard inside the cars, and they are inside the top 12 and climbing here in the late going.
Our in-race reporter, Mark Murphy, is doing a nice job trying to come back after being involved in that last caution. He's got most of the damage repaired, and he's back up to the 10th position under fire, but he's hanging in there.
Next time by, we'll hit 2/3 mark in this race. That'll be 2/3 of the race down. That last third, though, very critical. But for guys that are trying to make their way back toward the front, they need to keep coming here with a pit stop in the horizon coming up soon. But you want to be in a good position to maybe make a 2-tire call, or at least just have a good 4-tire pit stop and ultimately gain some spots on the track and on the road and put yourself perhaps in the top 5. I would think it's a great chance to be, but we've seen guys make their way toward the front from about 7th or 8th on back. Behind green flag
Contact between Dyson and Bowden. He saves it.
As both those guys were going crazy last couple of laps, that finally kind of ricochets its way out, and Colin Bowden's going to drop back because of it.
No, a little more contact made as now they bunch up on top of each other here. Very close quarters racing. Jamie Haley almost put up into the outside wall.
And definitely Colin Bowden's just trying to find a line inside here, or trying to find a nice place to resettle and regroup and get that car back up to speed and handling the way he wants it to. Almost gets into the 12 there, Chris Wright. Definitely have to look out for there. Some guys on that white line trying to stick the nose underneath you, trying to make a pass. You definitely don't want to have an accident there, get turned, or anything else worse considering that. He's having such a great run. Both as Chris Wright and Colin Bowden, those guys battling hard. I just have to be careful there. We've got an intense battle for the lead as Austin Hartenfels, he's made his way up to second, and his presence is being known. He's going to make the dive to the inside into turn 3, going to try and take the lead from Byron Daly. He's side by side working the inside line. We'll see who has the advantage off turn 4.
All three of these drivers are duking it out up here, battling for that top spot.
And Austin's going to get loose there, clips the apron with the left front. That'll make him lose the lead, and he might lose second here to Corey Hoover as he's going to take a dive to the inside. Byron Daly, whether he's racing out, watching guys get loose in front of him, he's had a great car. He's made plenty of passes up there in the top 3, and he's once again back in the lead. Important to note these top 3 drivers pretty much have solidified themselves as the top 3 to beat. They have put a 2-second gap back to the 4th place car, Ryan Dyson, and really behind Ryan is the rest of the field. Colin Bowden still battling strong with Chris Wright and J.D. Laird, and plenty of guys just kind of scattered out behind him. Just trying to ride single file, trying to get up to this top 5, and really if you can get past guys like Colin Bowden and Ryan Dyson, you have a fast race car. You still have a while to go until you get to the top 3. So I think Ryan's realizing that, starting to pull away from that kind of pack, and these guys battle up front could bring more cars into the mix.
I'm just watching where Colin Bowden fell back to there. He's still trying to sort out and get that car back underneath of him. Struggling at the time.
It definitely is. I lost the spot to J.D. Laird, dropped back to 6th. Still a great running for Colin Bowden, but he's got a better car than 6th, I believe. He's been fast all day and really just had a tough time getting off the corner. Had a couple of guys get into him, and he's gotten into a couple guys himself. Just hard racing out there, pretty typical when you come to Auto Club, and it's not over till it's over. He's one of those drivers you're just going to have to wait till the race ends, really see where that car comes in, and he's right there on J.D. Laird.
And with 27 laps to go, the race is still rolling here. And it's really going to be tough with pit stops still. We've got at least one.
Yeah, definitely still one remains at this point. When you choose as a driver to come down pit road and have your service done on pit road, that's up to them, the team, and really the circumstances that present themselves for the drivers. If you're out front, definitely going to probably want to wait until you run the fuel dry, or even later in the race, as late as you can, really, so you don't get caught a lap down or have a caution really screw up your track position. But at the same time, if you're 10th on back, even 7th or so, around that area, if you're good in the points and feel this could be a chance to steal something, you could come in early, force the upper hand of the rest of these drivers, and maybe make a 2-tire call or something like that. Really try and think outside the box and try something crazy that, due to the circumstances, could get you a good finish.
Corey Hoover battling up here still with Daly and Hartenfels. This has been going on for quite some time, Shane.
It definitely has. We can't pick a favorite out of the three. They've all got fast cars. Byron Daly's been notably the best driver out front in clean air. Pretty much everyone's equal.
Well, Daly's got 31 laps led. He's got the most laps led locked in for the night now. So Daly's just doing a stellar job up where he is. Can he continue it? Huge run for him through 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is back-to-back weeks. No matter what happens for the rest of this race, that we've seen that 93 car Byron Daly been strong, led laps, and been there in the end. And really, the rest of this race could definitely play into his favor. Corey Hoover, Austin Hartenfels, their teammates. They've had plenty of 1-2 finishes, but not a lot of 2-3 finishes, so we're going to have to see how this one plays out. Really can't pick a favorite, as we continue to say. They're all fast, and I think pit stops might be the one that decides tonight's race.
We're going to hop off for our final commercial break, and when we come back, we've got the rest of the race for you, so don't go away. We've got more here from Auto Club Speedway. It is the Motor Components 200 here live on CFI.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics, and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
comm comes over the spectrum with a job. All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate timetable, and a risky route. You know you've got 42 cubic meters to pack full of profit. We're talking pressurized and shock-resistant construction, so whatever you put in here comes out the same way. You got two Arc Duo 400 engines. Their award-winning colloid ion technology gives you maximum fuel efficiency while keeping your sig low. Across a couple of pirates.
Hey, Lancer, you know the drill.
But with a weapon system featuring trusted names like Bering and Kronik, you aren't too worried.
Commercial vessel, Freelancer class. Red tags look good. Cleared for landing in Area 18.
You're the one they come to when you need a job done right. Because you trust one ship. Misk Freelancer. Built for life.
Field still racing on here. 17 laps remain. Taking a look, things got spread out over that commercial break up front, Shane. We have quite the gap between those three.
Definitely Byron Daly. The dominance continues for that car on front. He's pulled away. Just as I say that, caution comes out.
And sometimes I have to question if these things aren't perfectly timed. Because it really is perfectly timed. That'll set us up for about maybe 15 laps for a green flag run. Or not 15, about 13. This looks like the 14 if Finlayson loses it there. Gets down on the apron and whoop, there she goes.
This is going to set a lot of guys that already made pit stops. A couple of them went a lap down. They're going to set them back. Have to take a wait by, get back in the lead lap, lose track position, but at the same time, going to open up a ton of strategy possibilities for guys, all kinds of positions, and it's going to put a ton of pressure on those top three. Do you take 4 tires necessarily, or do you try and defend against the guys with 2? Field hits pit road. Here we go. Ultimate decision time for the crew chiefs. All the crews have to be perfect here on these pit stops as usual. The final stop's the one that counts. So far, everyone going to take 4 tires. Going to have to wait and see if anyone elects to take 2. It looks like everyone's going to go ahead here, take 4 tires. Colin Bowden, Ryan Dyson, the one with the strong pit stops, they're going to come out 1 and 2. Byron Daly slides back to 3rd.
This gives us a moment to talk to our in-race reporter, Joe Lawrence, who is still trying to come back after issues earlier on. Joe, it's Steve up here in the booth. Do you got me?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, we're watching you right now. You're trying to make a comeback here. We're going to have about 13, 14 laps of green flag racing. What do you have to crack the top 10?
I don't know. I've had just about everything, and I've been close. I've been in and out, and I've been out of the top 30. So it's been a long day. So trying to get to the top 10, that'd be a win for me right now.
We're watching that number 78 closely. We've seen a lot of good stuff out of that machine, but what has been the biggest challenge out here for that team?
Right now today it's just been entry, and I'm not cutting to the bottom as well as everybody else is that's running up front. So we're trying to figure it out here, but we'll see where the cards lay us out.
Well, one thing we've noticed is the cars change drastically in handling throughout the run. What have you experienced behind the wheel?
Yeah, throughout the run it gets really just kind of on edge throughout the center and off down to the straightaway there. It's not too bad, but if you overcorrect any bit, you're probably going to end up in the wall, and it can end your day really quickly, one small mistake.
All right, well, Joe, before we get this kicked off, who do you think is going to be the biggest challenge? We've seen a lot of drivers coming in and going through the field. Who do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you to get around up here?
Well, if I do get to the front, all 3 of my teammates are up there, and I know they're going to be quite hard to pass. There's also Byron Daly, who's always a top contender. So it's definitely a tough field ahead here.
All right, well, thanks for coming up here to talk to us, Joe. We're going to wish you the best of luck out here because it's about to get pretty darn crazy.
Thank you.
Shane, we are getting ready to watch this thing. It's going to get exciting. Next week we go to Iowa Speedway, then Road America. Indianapolis is round number 6. Very diverse schedule. We've talked about it. And Byron Daly's leading this. Joe Lawrence, we just talked to him. 3 points behind of Daly, so he needs to pick up some of these points. Lapchevich, I don't believe, is here tonight, Shane, and then Jacob Adams also struggling here. So I've got a feeling the top 5 in points is going to shake up quite a bit.
Yeah, they definitely will, and with the usual diverse schedule here for the Sportsman Series, you always see that throughout the entire season. Go to a big track, then a short track, then road course, and then all kinds of different mix-ups in between to complete the schedule. It's always interesting to see that. Each and every season's new and brings new challenges, and Auto Club's the challenge tonight, and so far these guys, they've done a nice job so far, but we're going to be getting ready here. 11 laps or so we'll have to go here. It's actually going to be 12, but nonetheless, that's pretty close to the end. And when you're close to the end, that means you have to make it to the front. And if you're not there, obviously try and do what you can. And that's why 3, 4, even 5 wide racing could be possible here on the restart.
Pace cars down on pit road. Green flag back in the air. we're racing for the Motor Components 200 here, the final 12 laps.
Great start by Colin Bowden on the inside. Ryan Dyson needs a push from his teammate Corey Hoover to get going. But nonetheless, they'll be side by side for second. Byron Daly's right there. Chris Wright up into the top 7 or so. He's digging on the inside as they're all double file behind him.
Lots of double file. Colin Bowden wants to protect that inside. He'll drop it down low, all the way down to the apron there for a hot second, and then brings it back to the high side to retain that area. And then off into 3 and 4, they all sail it off here with those fresh tires. They're going to make it stick, but Byron Daly catches the outside wall. That's going to slow him down here. Corey Hoover moves through the middle. And look at Chris Wright all the way up to 5th position in that number 12.
That is pretty much the definition of how hard turn 4 is. You see a guy like Byron Daly, the experience, the success, really the domination tonight he's had. Getting to the wall there, that proves it's really difficult. He's going to drop back, lose a ton of spots. See if he can recover, but nonetheless, Ryan Dyson and Corey Hoover taking advantage of that miscue. They're battling for second here. This could be the battle for the win if they can get to Colin Bowden.
Wow, just the racing so tight for position. Taking a look, Austin Hartenfeld's in the mix. Ryan Dyson, Corey Hoover, all trying. J.D. Laird wants some more earlier on. And 8 laps is not enough for him. He wants more. He's going to look down to the inside here of Dyson. Or excuse me, that's Hartenfeld's here, as Hoover and Dyson are side by side.
And Colin Bowden's loving all of this out his rearview mirror. The more they battle, the more he's able to pull away and obviously establish a ground that if we get too late in the race, these guys won't be able to make up. And Ryan Dyson, he knows this is maybe one of his only chances to win in the coming weeks or so, or maybe get a chance, get into the chase with the whole new chase. I know we haven't talked about that tonight, but winning you're in is the deal, and pretty much for these guys, it's all on the line each and every week. And for Ryan Dyson in particular, he knows that, trying to battle on the outside. But so far, Corey Hoover continues to hold the second spot.
As Corey Hoover secures that spot back there, doing a good job down the back straightaway as J.D. Laird once again looks down the inside.
Yeah, J.D. looks to be kind of a short run car in that 23. If he can get by Austin here, maybe even get by Corey Hoover, he's got a chance to get to Colin Bowden, but as the laps continue to wind down and Colin pulls away, it's going to be harder and harder for anyone who's in the second spot to ultimately make up that ground and make the pass for the win. Half a tenth that time Colin Bowden gained on the rest of the field. So he's got a fast car using the clean air to his advantage, and now huge contact. Austin Hartenfeld and J.D. Laird get together there. Also Ryan Dyson, they sort it out, but 3 and 4 wide.
And look at that. You see just how easy it is for someone to get knocked up out of the groove. And Colin Bowden has half of a second over Corey Hoover and then J.D. Laird, and if J.D. Laird and Hoover start battling, that could extend some more.
Definitely could. We need to take a look at the front end of Parker Klingerman's car. He's all the way up now into the top 7 and growing. There's barely a front end on that car. I don't even think that car should have been running after the accident it was involved in early on. The crew did a nice job fixing it up. He's been fast all day outside the top 10, now inside the top 10 in 7th. Doing a nice job, and just as I say that, wrecking the back, huge contact. And there are cars tumbling still out of turn 2 there. Finlayson, Mark Murphy in particular on its lid there. Chad Coleman also got airborne for a split second. Huge wreck in turn 2.
And let's take a look at what happened going all the way back before the caution. We were 3 wide. Chad Coleman's back there with Clint Carr, Mark Murphy. Oh, and it starts there, just some gentle contacts, turns into much, much more. As, oh gosh, heavy contact between multiple drivers back there. And for sure, Mark Murphy ends up on his lid and flips it on over.
I really don't, maybe some of those guys didn't see the wreck, or I don't know what happened there. Michael Finlayson in particular, that car I don't know if it had brakes or not, maybe not. Jacob Adams in particular especially too. I don't think those guys had any chance to react. The driver pretty much piled in at full speed. That's going to end the night for pretty much everyone involved in that wreck, especially Mark Murphy. He took quite a tumble there.
What happened to Chad Coleman is he just got sandwiched in the middle there and nowhere to go. And unfortunately, that's just going to cause a huge pileup. A lot of drivers were towards the tail end of the field, but still, it's going to hurt.
This is going to totally change the complexion up front. Colin Bowden looked to be running away with this thing, and now we're going to get a final restart. Have to determine how many laps that'll be, but nonetheless, this is going to be a make-or-break one for everyone up front trying to gun for the win, and really everyone else in the field trying to get the finish that they want here tonight. It'll be the final restart of the race and the final chance to move toward the front.
We're going to take our final commercial break of the night. When we come back, we go to the finish here on CFI.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics, and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
A comm comes over the spectrum with a job. All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate timetable, and a risky route. You know you've got 42 cubic meters to pack full of profit. We're talking pressurized and shock-resistant construction, so whatever you put in here comes out the same way. You got two Arc Duo 400 engines. Their award-winning colloid ion technology gives you maximum fuel efficiency while keeping your sig low. Across a couple of pirates.
Hey, Lancer, you know the drill.
But with a weapon system featuring trusted names like Bering and Kronik, you aren't too worried.
Commercial vessel, Freelancer class. Red tags look good. Cleared for landing at Area 18.
You're the one they come to when they need a job done right. Because you trust one ship.
It is going to be a 2-lap shootout here on CFI. Here in the Motor Components 200 chain. Colin Bowden, J.D. Laird on the front row. Corey Hoover, Ryan Dyson, second row, Chris Wright, and Byron Daly, third row here. And then Parker Kligerman Austin Hartenfels. Those guys snuck up into the picture as well. Big names here racing for a big race.
Definitely, Steve. Going to go pick the green flag racing with 2 laps to go. Colin Bowden has had the car in the last 10 laps. After the miscue there by Byron Daly, got into the outside wall. He fell to 6th. But nonetheless, it's pretty much anyone's guess what's going to happen here. You get a good restart, you pretty much have a good chance at the win. But for Colin Bowden, all the pressure's on him. He determines when the race starts. The green flag, typical rules apply there. And, if he can get through the gears and not miss a shift, like we saw Joseph Tice miss a shift last week, caused a big wreck. You get through the gears here and, hold your line, do the best you can through the turns. You might have a good chance as the pace car pulls off. Colin Bowden, J.D. Laird, your front 2 drivers as we're back to green.
And it looks like the front row is away. Green flag in the air. 2 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. JD is going to find his way down to the inside line. He'll hop in front of Hoover. Where is he going to go with it? That number 23 checks up just a titch, going down into the corner there. He's right on the back bumper of that number 89. And off here we go. The field picking up speed rapidly. Down the back straightaway we go as they fan out, trying to race for position. Big block out of Colin Bowden to keep that number 23 at bay. And he's going to hop up to the high side there. And Colin's going to stay down low. That's going to possibly hurt his momentum here, but to his aid, Ryan Dyson hops underneath of J.D. Laird, and that will give the 89 the edge off the corner. 1 lap to go and they cross the stripe.
Colin Bowden, he's pretty much driving out the mirror at this point, blocked to the white line in the backstretch, doing the same thing in turns 3 and 4, front straightaway into turn 1. J.D. Laird, Ryan Dyson has emerged into the picture. Corey Hoover got caught up in some 3-wide action. He's dropped back. He's made his way back up to 4th. They're wrecking behind him, but we're going to race to the line.
And here we go. This is the biggest, longest straightaway for Colin Bowden to defend against right now. Where is that 28 going to go, and can he do anything with it? I know what the 23 is going to do. He's going to dive it in deep, take it to the middle line. He's not going to have the run to do it. A little bit of contact almost there back there. Here comes Bowden off the corner. He's got the run. Dyson's all the way down to the inside. Colin Bowden's going to get it here, just over Ryan Dyson, tightly contested for second on back.
Colin takes home the win by .066. That, my friends, is a close finish. We've seen some over the years here on 2-mile racetracks, Michigan and Auto Club in particular, and once again tonight a close one, and Colin Bowden pulls off the win here tonight. What a relief for him, going to be in the chase, and also going to bring home the trophy.
Yeah, a driver that wasn't even sure how successful of a season he was going to have. Rejoined the league last season after missing the majority of the season. Was very successful at the tail end of that season. And then came back and tonight showed us that he can drive up through the field. He was my pick to win, actually. And, well, sure enough, he did somehow manage to work his way up there, sneak on by, and lead some laps and get this victory here in that WeatherTech machine. Congratulations to Colin Bowden. Let's take a look at the results. Over to you, Shane.
Yeah, dominating win in the closing laps for Colin Bowden. He was there when it counts. He wins tonight. Finishing second, Ryan Dyson. Great recovery for him and that team. J.D. Laird third. Corey Hoover, another one of those guys, finished 34th last week. Comes here tonight, finishes 4th, so that's a fantastic recovery for him. Chris Wright rounds out the top 5 with a strong run. Austin Hartenfels comes back after missing last week to finish 6th. Walker Thomas, one of the rookies here for this season, finishes 7th. Parker Kligerman comes back from big-time front-end damage to finish 8th. Trevor Roppolo finishes 9th. And Byron Daly fell all the way to 10th there at the end. With Jamie Haley finishing in 11th. Thomas Story 12th. Alan Cryer caught up in some things tonight. He'll finish 13th. Shane Terrian back to 14th. Joe Lawrence finishes 15th here tonight. Mark Roppolo 16th. Clint Carr 17th. Jason Thompson gets up to 18th here tonight. Justin Munseal 19th. And Bradley Burke round out the top 20. Also the 20 cars that were on the lead lap. Tom Bourne finishes 21st with Mark Murphy 22nd after taking a violent flip in turn 2. Michael Finlayson finishes 23rd. Michael Araya 24th. Chad Coleman's going to finish 25th tonight. Disappointing for that team. Jacob Adams also caught up in that big wreck. He'll finish 26th. Joseph Tice back to 27th. Caught up in a wreck. Definitely tough break for him. Michael Thompson 28th. Corey Blevins 29th. Nick Mass is going to round out The top 30 there in 30th with Bronson Stafford, Riley Grant Davis, Cody Tabor, and Brendan Madonia rounding out the 34 car field.
I do believe, Shane, you are catching up with our second place finisher.
Yeah, here with Ryan Dyson. And Ryan, kind of take us through those final laps. You gave it everything you had, but just not enough.
You walked up to the wrong guy, Shane. That's JD Laird.
It's actually, that's our third place finisher, JD Laird. And JD, we'll ask the same question to you. In the last closing laps there, you went for it, but just not enough. Take us through it.
I wish the caution didn't come out at the end, because I felt like I could have gotten Colin, and then on the final restart, if I got to the bottom, I really think I had a shot to win it, but nothing played out at the end. Like, I got to the bottom in 1 and 2, but playing all the blocking games on the back straightaway, which is expected because we're all trying to keep our spot, and just didn't have all the breaks go my way at the end.
Yeah, definitely still a strong finish for your team up in the top 3. I know you guys, pretty much the entire field struggled with loose conditions, especially off turn 4. That seems like a problematic spot out there tonight. What was your opinion on that, and really how tough was it to handle this car around the track?
I absolutely loved it. I was able to burn the right front by just overdriving it and balance the car out that way. And there was a long run in the middle of the race where I felt like I could keep up with everybody in front of me, and once things kind of started to cycle, a caution came out because somebody self-spun, I guess, and then I overshot my pit box by a little bit, went from in the middle of the top 5 to 10th and burned my stuff up trying to get back to 6th, but it was definitely a nice change of pace to actually have to drive the car and manage the tires.
Definitely was, and taking this strong finish here, it's going to help you in the point standings. When we look ahead to the next couple of weeks, we've got Iowa next week and then Road America. Really, what's your best track out of the 2, and which one are you looking forward to?
With the way they've been running on road courses, probably none of them, but we'll just survive. Like that's the goal right now, is to have enough points to where I can make the elimination if I can't get the win. Like, I thought I really could have gotten it tonight to where I could just drive the hell out of it and deal with it, but it's just to keep points, plug on, and wait to the elimination and see how it goes from there.
Definitely got a long season ahead, but before we let you go, JD, any sponsors or shoutouts you want to thank for tonight's third place finish?
Way too many sponsors and people. Scott and Danielle Anderson of Anderson Surfboards and Aquatech Glassing. I feel bad that I couldn't get Blackie the win tonight, but she came home second, so I just wish I could have had it. Langford Farm, Spirited by Brad, Segpay and Lighten, all my teammates, H Media, King of Chins, Duke Metal Designs, V8 Vapes, myself at JDR Graphics, and all the guys on the team, Byron, Chad, Parker, Allen. It's a team effort just to run this and just to waste one of our days just to have fun. So I got to give them a shout out for letting me drive my desk tonight.
It's definitely awesome, JD. Wouldn't wish you the best of luck in the coming weeks.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And then I have caught up with Ryan Dyson here. Ryan, you came away with second position. Take us through that huge comeback on the night.
That was a very, 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 very fun race. Started 24th, just casually drove through the field, played everything smart. I don't think we have a dent on any of the 4 squares of this car, so proud of that. I don't know what the margin of victory was, 0.066. We lost her by that much. We were that close to locking her into the elimination, but after the way our season started, we led most at Daytona and then got wrecked, and then last week we had some tough luck, so I'll take that as a rebound. That was a lot of fun, that green-white checkered.
A very exciting race, as always. Auto Club always puts on a good one. We go to some very diverse tracks over the next few weeks. How does that team shake up for you?
Where do we go next week? I think we go Iowa. It's supposed to be a night race, however, so is this one, and officials determined and drivers asked for us to switch it to a day race and make sure that it was hot and slick and it provided good racing similar to a truck race at Atlanta. And we saw what happened last week at Atlanta when it wasn't. So we got some decisions to make as to if we're going to make sure everything's hot and slick because it creates better racing, or if it's pretty at nighttime. And we got some decisions like that to make, but looking forward to Iowa. We haven't gone there in a while, and I think Road America is coming up, so always love the road courses.
All right, well, Ryan, before we head off to talk to Chris Wright real quick, who do you have to thank for making it happen?
Well, I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, as always. You always put on a good show, and proud to have you guys signed on. I thank APC Auto Parts, Canusa, Arc Expression Studios, London Recreational Racing, Spencer Lewis Promotions, Driven Steering Wheels, Splash Wash Products, and Hunt Brothers Pizza.
All right, Ryan, thanks for coming to talk to us, bud.
Thanks, hopefully we'll talk again next week.
And then Shane, over with Chris Wright, one of the drivers that also had a huge comeback through the night.
Yeah, here with Chris Wright. He ends up with a good finish here tonight. And Chris, I know you definitely you've had a kind of a struggle the first couple of races here, but a top 5 here tonight in 5th definitely going to help that team.
Yeah, before I say anything about a run tonight, I want to take this opportunity to apologize to Hoover for last week again. I got in touch with him on social media and whatnot, and I felt terrible about that situation. It was just a dumb move on my part last week. But as far as this week goes, I hit the wall pretty early, and I went through, is it going to be all right, and are we going to be able to recover? And I figured out pretty quick that it wasn't hurt, so just managed my tires. And I'm telling you, I hope it was a good show for you guys, because from the car it was a lot of close racing and a lot of sliding.
Yeah, it definitely was a good show. Kind of talk about how loose it was out there tonight. Also, turn 4 seemed like a trouble spot for many guys. Getting into the wall. Also saw a couple of wrecks there. Seemed like that was a struggle.
Yeah, it wasn't way loose on fresh tires, but the longer you went, the more rear grip you lost. And then the problem with turn 4 is just the way the track is. You feel like you've got the room, and then as you get there, you realize real late that, oh, I don't have that room. It kind of pushes a little. You expect it to be loose, and then it kind of pushes on you a little bit and throws you up into that wall.
Yeah, definitely saw some great racing nonetheless here tonight. We look ahead to the next couple of weeks. We got Iowa and Road America coming up notably. What's your opinion on those two tracks, and which one do you really look forward to the most?
Well, at the places that we have to turn right, I'm just hoping to survive. Iowa, we'll see what happens when we get there. Hopefully it's a setup kind of like this where we slide around a little bit. Those seem to be a lot of fun. That green-white checker tonight was a blast to race that hard at the end and slide that much, and I didn't see anything happen from where I was.
Nonetheless, you bring it home in the top 5 with yet another exciting finish here. Seems like that's been the norm of this season. Have some great finishes up there for the lead with other guys. But nonetheless, Chris, before we let you go, any sponsors or shout-outs you want to thank for tonight's finish?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to all my teammates at Bulletproof Racing and the guys that help us out over at Sky Motorsports, and then I Buy Power and Pepsi Company and all those sponsors we have for coming aboard.
All right, that's Chris Wright bringing it home strong here tonight in 5th. Thanks for talking to us, Chris.
No problem, anytime.
And then Shane, with that pretty much wraps us up for the night. Very competitive racing here at Auto Club Speedway. Next week we go to Iowa, and then next week, notably, Petey returns up to the booth. That's going to be exciting. Adding the third voice to the booth, and that'll add a little bit of variety up here. I'm sure everyone's sick of hearing big-time Steve Bonesteel, but I'm excited for Iowa. It's always a fun track, and if we get to be under the sunlight, that'll make it even more exciting. Daytime races always look a lot better than those nighttime races on broadcast, I tell you what.
Yeah, they definitely do, Steve. Going to have a whole new experience, I guess, next week. Bringing a third person in the booth and also going to the short track of Iowa. That's always been known as a multi-groove racetrack. The high side, in particular, seems to be coming in as the builds continue to build on iRacing, and really, I think that's going to be a great race. These guys are going to be moving around all night, and that'll be fun to watch next week.
So for everybody here at CFI, we are signing off for the night. Thanks for tuning in.